Hi everybody, it's Rachel from Sage. It's been a while. So almost to the end of my current fortnightly rotation, and I realised that I hadn't shown you a Christmas in July look. It's almost the end of July, but whatever, hey? So I'm just using the eye primer that's in my rotation currently, which is the LA Girl Pro Primer. This is my third one of these. Now this is a drier formula, so if you have really oily lids, then this is really suitable for you. I actually had the black one as well, but I decluttered it because I wasn't using it. So this one is just like a yellowy beige, which is suitable to my undertone. It does grab onto dry patches a little bit, so if you're dry lidded, you either prep your lids really well or you just choose something else. I have tinted my brows a few days ago, so they're looking nice and dark, so I'm just gelling them down with the Maybelline Super Lock, which is one of the makeup finds of the year for me, in the untinted and tinted versions. If you have quite unruly brows like I do, then this is something you should try. You can often get them half price at Big W or Chemist Warehouse or Priceline, somewhere like that, and even the supermarket perhaps in Australia, and they're universal, so you'd be able to find them anywhere whatever country you live in. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to find this product. Super easy and does the job so well, and they'll stay there all day now. I've lined my lips with the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 in Sandy Beige, which is also in my current rotation. And I'm going over the top of that with the Cosmic Beauty Tinted Lip Oil in what shade, I don't know, but it is sensational color, and the lip feel is beautiful. And it smells like berries. So it takes out the orange in the lip liner, deepens that color up, which I'm really loving right now, given that it's midwinter. So that's the lips prepped and the eyelids prepped. Let's do some eyeshadow. First of all, I'm going to go all over the lid with just a finishing powder. No, a setting powder this is. Not the cleanest of brushes, but it will do. Now, if you've watched my channel since it began nearly 4 years ago, you may have seen me do one look with this palette. This is the Ruby for July palette. Christmas in July, ruby, red, perfect. So I chose this. You can see why I chose this. This is a really very Christmassy type of palette, even though it's a July birthstone palette. So I am going to use the shade Honest first, just through the upper crease. Amazing how pigmented these shadows still are. And I can tell you, I've used this palette 4 times for all day wear in my rotation thus far, and even as old as this palette is, they haven't creased or moved or faded, which is quite remarkable for a palette that is 6, nearly 7 years old. So now I'm going to go into that deep brown shade called Proud. That first shade was called Honest. So these are obviously the traits that July babies have, according to the Western zodiac, I guess. Don't really know much about that stuff. You can correct me if you know better. I just like the colours, let's be honest. And I liked the theming. Even though I'm not really into astrology, I did like the theming when I started buying them. First of all, I bought my own birthstone month. And then I thought, okay, I'll get one for my daughter and my sisters and mum, etc. And then I thought, whatever, I'm going to buy the whole collection. And I had to resort to buying some of them on eBay. They were new, unused, but to try and get the collection before it was discontinued, eliminated, whatever, I had to go to eBay, and I managed to source the last few on eBay. Now, they were the more neutral leaning palettes. Whether that means they're, popular birth months, or whether that just means they were popular colour stories, I couldn't say. Maybe it's both. Right, so we've got a bit of depth now. Still blending like an absolute dream, and pigment is unbelievable. Unbelievable, what can I say? Okay, so I'm going to go in with this reddish brown called Fun Gal. I really like this colour. Let's get a flatter brush. This one should do. Still a matte. Taking it more or less all the way in, running it along the lower lash line too, and I will detail that a little bit more. All right, that's gone on beautifully, no fallout whatsoever. Amazing. I am tapping off my brush, as you can probably hear. So if you're a neutral loving person, then you could just do the first two shades, put a champagne over the top of that, a shimmery champagne tone, and leave it at that. But of course, this is me, and I'm doing Christmas in July, and I am loving the notion of sort of freaky Christmas that Northern Hemisphere people get to enjoy, I think, because they go from Halloween, and then, winter proper starts in November, and there's all sorts of festivities in different countries in November, particularly in the Northern Hemisphere. And then there's Christmas, which is in deep winter, midwinter for Northern Hemisphere people. Now, if you're not religious, I am not religious, but I do love Christmas. It's a festival that I really enjoy. I'm going to deepen up the under eye with that dark brown shade. And this is one of my favorite pencil brushes ever. Does everything that I want it to do just so easily. Pushing that brown into the upper lash line now. A little bit of fallout there. And just a bit of a wing, just for lift. All right. Okay, so I'm going to lighten up the inner corner. I'm going to go in with the shade Sparkly, all right? You can see why it's called that. Dot that there, dot that there. Brush with my finger across the inner third and up to the brow. No fallout, no setting spray required. Quite fun. Okay, so I'm going to take that in a little bit further here. Right, and then I'm going to go in with the red shimmer rather, called Witty. You can see it's an orangey red, whereas that one's got a lot of pink in it. That's more of a highlighter or a blush. This one takes out some of the depth of colour of that Fun Gal shade and brightens it up a little bit, but doesn't take too much of the red out, because I actually want that. And it's a very smooth formula. A traditional shimmer, I would suggest, whereas that sparkly one doesn't have a transparent base. It's got colour in it, but it's more wet looking. This one is just smoothing. And there is a hint of peach in there, which is nice to lighten things up a bit. Take that out a little bit further. Grab my tissue. Go back in with the original brush. No, the red one rather. And just have that meet there and there. Okay, I'll be cleaning up in a moment. Red pigments can be tricky for some people. Some people are allergic to them and they may stain your eyelids. I find that if I just double cleanse, you know, with my oil-based cleanser first and then use my normal Dermaveen or Aveeno face wash, the red staining is not particularly problematic, even after a day of wear. That's just me though. And I also do have quite red eyelids naturally, so I guess I don't notice it terribly, but just a word of warning, if you are prone to discoloration, particularly very, very fair people, I would suggest would find that that is a possibility. If this is all too intense for you, then something lighter, like that sort of palette. This is the Colourpop Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer palette. I have done videos with this in the past, so you'd have to go back a few years to find those. But this is a much lighter, more wearable palette. And start with a pastel base if you're wanting a lighter overall impression. Put a white on your lids if you want the lightness to come through, even a dark shadow over the top. So if this is all too much for you, try doing a pastel base. That might help. Okay, I am going to put the red glitter on now, pressed glitter, Drama Queen. As you can see, I have hit pan on this, so it has been worn quite a bit. And because it's flaky and it's a pressed glitter, and perhaps it's dried out a little over the years, yeah, it has. It's quite separating quite a lot, and I've had to put a piece of tissue over it to stop it from falling out all the time, because it's been making a mess all over my makeup table and my other makeup. I'm spritzing that. Oh goodness, that's empty. Okay, I'm spritzing that with not very much setting spray. And I have just decided to just go over the top of that area where I put the red matte and where I put the red shimmer. So I wanted to show you what that looked like before I did this. This is obviously the extra that I am doing for you Christmas in July fun lovers, festival types, and I'm one of those myself, so I am definitely not throwing shade on you. So I did put some mascara on, and I actually don't care if the glitter gets onto my lashes. I actually really love that because the light catches the lashes a lot, you can see. And when you blink, there's that extra bit of fun element. This one's got more on it than that one. I need to spray the brush again with the very empty setting spray. That's a bit more even. I think Australia Post might be here. Just a little bit on the inner corner, just a flash, like so. And obviously there's fallout for days, but that doesn't matter because I haven't got any base product on yet. Okay. So you've gotten to see it now in its full capacity. Okay. Gee, my eyes look blue, don't they? For extra fun on the lip, red glitter. That looks cool. Okay, that's going to stay there because that lip oil and that lip line has been on for a while. Them up again. Let's get on to the complexion now. I have been loving mixing my Tennisational from Catrice, right? About that much, right? With the NYX, what is this called? Hydro Grip Gel Tint in shade 4. Yes, now this winter is my perfect winter shade and it matches the Tennisational really well. So I've got about that much product, maybe a drop more might be in order. Trying to work out how much is in here, it's hard to say because of that impervious tube. There we are, there's that much product. Got my buffer, my LA Girl buffer, and just sweeping it on. I've just added some L'Oreal Infallible Brown Denim eyeliner to both waterlines. Skin finish is nice, isn't it? Okay, so in with the powder now, which is just this L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Perfecting Powder. Now, if you can hear construction noise, I apologise. A man has just turned up with an excavator. Not at our place, but at our neighbour's place. So yeah, the joys of living back in town. I was concerned he was coming here and I was unaware, because we are actually having somebody come this week, but not today, to start to remove a tree that is causing problems for our neighbours and also is starting to affect our plumbing. It's a shame. I'm very remiss. You know, it's not the thing I would normally like to do, take trees out, especially when you live in the western districts of New South Wales and we have extremely hot, long summers. But this tree is getting into the pipes and causing issues for them and for us, and is starting to, you know, pull the fence down and stuff like that. So unfortunately, the tree has to go. I know it's not in my you know, usual thinking to do such a thing. Right, now I have been using this one quite a bit, the Cosmic Beauty Nutmeg Cream Blush. I really love this one. And my decision about the other cream blush in Merry is this. I've worn it twice. Let's take the acetate out so you can see the undertone. And it doesn't look good on me. It's neither cool enough nor bright enough to flatter, which is, I don't understand. It should look great, but every time I've worn it, I've caught myself, you know, looking at my face, say, you know, during the day, and I've gone, that is not a good look, not a good look. Whereas this one is amazing and I absolutely love it. Which brush am I using here? This one. Because it warms up the face beautifully. Now, there's nothing wrong with the formula of either of these blushes, of course. The formula is fabulous. It's something about the undertone that just doesn't look right on me. Whereas this one is great and is worn by me summer and winter. And I can wear it as a bronzer as well, as you can see. And it goes over powder without lifting makeup underneath. So there's good formula there. But I am going to declutter the Merry blush, cream brush. I just don't like it on me. That's the truth of it. And I have plenty of other makeup to wear, as you know. And as one of you said to me recently, why keep persisting with something that you don't like or doesn't suit? And it's like, spot on, exactly right. First of all, I don't have time. Does anyone? And second of all, I have other stuff that I can use and that I like better. Okay, so a little bit of contouring now with the Westman Atelier in Biscuit. Yep. If sometimes I go cross-eyed on camera, I'm sorry about that. My parents took me to doctors when I was a kid because I would just, apparently when I was really little, as a source of amusement for adults, I used to send myself cross-eyed. Mum and Dad were not in favour of this. It was something that I would do. And so they sent me to all sorts of eye doctors and things to make sure that there was nothing actually wrong. Well, at 52, there's definitely something wrong with my vision. I mean, I can hardly, read the packaging on things at all without significant magnification at this point. But then Mum was always catching me doing it, and she'd say, stop crossing your eyes. She realised that I could do it at will. And sometimes I still do it accidentally. So if you see me doing it, I apologise. It might be off-putting for you. But let me assure you there's nothing actually technically wrong with the muscles in my eye because of that. It's just something it's a habit that I've tried to break, and I've struggled to do that. There we are, the bow's back. The other way it was falling off, wasn't it? Oh, glitter is falling onto the face, but this is where we're at, and I'm not really worried about that. If you put glitter on your face, it's kind of par for the course, I guess. Okay, pretty happy. Now, what's next? Bronzer. The Fenty Beauty Shady Biz 02, one of my all-time favorites. Certainly the great winter bronzer, and look. It's almost done. I probably should repress this, and then I will get to use all of it up. Not that I'm big on the project pan, I'm not really obsessed about that. But it is fun to finish products, isn't it? It feels somewhat satisfying, but it's certainly not a big part of my channel, except when it comes to skincare and empties. Then I really do think that I've got something to say there that will be of use to you. So keeping it just glowy and nice and bronzy, because there's so much going on with the eyes and indeed the lips now. If you're thinking my hair's shorter and darker, yes, you're right. I have not had any colour put in now for 4 or 5 months. So this is all my natural colour, right? There are still a few of the platinum streaks there, as you can see, coming through at the front. That haven't been added in recently. So most of the old blonde has been cut out now because I've had my hair cut like that much. And the fringe looks heaps darker because I haven't had any foils put in there at all. But my hair is coming back growth-wise, and that is partly why I've decided not to colour my hair for the time being, because I'm trying to get my hair growth back again after me losing a significant amount of hair after the health issues that I've experienced this year. So my hairdresser even said, I had my hair cut 2 weeks ago, my hairdresser said she had to thin out the back again, because there's that much volume again compared to the last 2 or 3 haircuts that she's given me. So she was really pleased to see that the volume was coming back and the hair loss was a lot less. And I'd commented to her, I said, I think I'm losing a lot less hair now. And she said, well, obviously, you know, your health is getting better. And I did start taking a hair, skin and nails vitamin as well with some biotin. So that was what she suggested to do. That was what the doctor suggested. So that's what I did. And maybe both of those things helped, but mostly I'd say it's the increased blood flow that is improving my hair. Now I just need to work on my nails. I've been covering them up with nail polish for a while to try and mitigate their, I don't know, the fact that they haven't been looking too good, but that's probably making them worse, I've realized. So I've stopped using any varnish at all, and I'm just putting, you know, nail oil on to try and treat them, and using lactic acid on my hands, which is really great for your nails, especially the nail bed. So that's where the blood flow is, and that's, you know, the health of the nail. Your health of your nails really shows how healthy you are, actually. So have a look at your nails. If you're thinking you might not be well, have a look at your nails, because they are a sign that something's not quite right. Okay, so here's the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? I can definitely see the sparkle. I will take some photos in natural light and I'll insert them. But overall, I'm really happy with this Christmas in July look. And this is a look, minus the glitter, I have to say, that I have worn several days out in my everyday life. People are very used to seeing me with my, compared to, you know, how most people do their makeup where I live. My makeup is, you know, pretty colourful and extreme. That is my way of doing makeup. That is the way I like to do my makeup. Is it how I do other people's makeup? No. I do their makeup how they want me to do it. But when it comes to my own preference, what I'm doing on camera is almost exactly the same as what I'm doing in my everyday life, the makeup styles that I do. And that's just because that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm at an age where I think I don't care if people like my makeup or not. I don't wear it for anybody else. I wear it for me. And this channel is an extension of that. So you're obviously here because you like something about what I do, or maybe it's what I say or how I say it. I don't know. And thank you for that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like before you go. Those of you that love to comment, you know I love your comments. I always read them. I always try to write back something meaningful. I have a number of videos coming up. I will be doing an empties video within the next few weeks. And of course, my next rotation, which I'll probably film soon. I don't know whether I'm going to get to do a fortnightly rotation this time. It'll be more like 3 weeks, because I've had a few things, you know, life gets in the way, doesn't it? So it might be a week or so before I get that video up, but I hope you like this one, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.